Hey guys, and welcome back to JT Biz, where we teach you how to build financial freedom by creating multiple streams of income and basically how to build a life by design, a life that you love, where you can wake up and do whatever you want each and every single day. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so that you can be notified every time we have a new video with all new content and value for you guys. So before we start the video, we'll give you a little bit of time to do that. And with that, on to the video. Etsy is dead. Now, on your journey towards financial freedom, you might decide to do e-commerce, which means that you have to do a lot of research into which platform you want to start on. And I know you've heard of some of these places. There's Shopify, then there's marketplaces such as Amazon, such as Etsy, such as eBay. And you can hear some really discouraging things about some of these platforms. You can hear some really great stories and some really great things about some of these platforms, but you can also hear some very discouraging things that may skew your perception towards some of these platforms. And one of the saddest things that we hear being said by way too many Etsy sellers is that Etsy is dead. You may have heard that Etsy is one of the least profitable of these platforms and marketplaces, being only for handmade goods and for vintage, and that's about it. Now, the issue is that a lot of the people who are speaking on Etsy as a platform don't have very much knowledge. They're not very familiar with the Etsy platform, meaning they don't sell on it. Or if they are a seller on the Etsy platform, they may have a very narrow and outdated viewpoint. Now, starting at the beginning, Etsy established itself as the platform for crafters and traditional artists to sell their handmade goods. But in the past few years, Etsy has allowed the integration of production partners, and this has really changed the game. Guys, this has opened up a whole new opportunity for sellers to grow from small independent shops to huge, profitable brands. Print-on-demand companies such as Printful and Guten are some of the most popular partners, but really there's no limit to what you can design and have, and have any production partner produce it for you. So that kind of brings us to a anecdotal instance. There's a tailor that we know locally, and she let us know that one of her clients is a Etsy seller, and she is in the prom and wedding niche. This particular seller. So she picked a good one, huge niche, prom and weddings. She should be getting a lot of sales actually right now, because this is just about that season. So she has her dresses outsourced to her production partner, who is this tailor, and she makes sales to the tune of $500,000 per year. And that is life-changing income. That is, income replacing profit, right? So how's that for Etsy being dead, right? The truth of the matter is that Etsy is just not the same platform that it was 10, even 5 years ago. So for a lot of people who are doing the oldest model of business for Etsy, which is the handmade crafts, they're finding that a lot of their sales and profits today do not reflect the profits and sales that they used to make in the past 5 to 10 years. So in this case, we can agree that Etsy is dead, but it depends on how you're doing Etsy. Because in the same way that you can say that Etsy is dead, and this is an oxymoronic statement here, Etsy is dead, but Etsy has also had its, the Etsy stock has risen 107.77% in the past year. And that's not by accident. That means that Etsy is making more money now than it has ever, which means that sellers are selling. They have to be selling now more than ever. So Etsy's basically dead for you if you're selling on the Etsy platform like it was 2014 or 2009. The thing is that Etsy is encouraging sellers, in not so many words, to grow their independent shop into a brand. It's encouraging sellers to white label, to do print on demand, and to basically outsource manufacturing by adding production teams. Because guys, it's really, really hard for you to grow as an entrepreneur if you're doing everything by yourself. Look at any big company out there. Any big company out there has a team behind them. That's the only way that they could grow to that size. Any Fortune 500 company that's out there right now that provides a product, the owner of that company is not the one who is manufacturing by hand that product. That is crazy. So with the new possibilities that are available to you in adding production partners, that you need to know how much of a game changer that this is and how much more opportunity this provides for sellers. And this is single-handedly why Etsy is able to grow so much in such a short amount of time, in allowing its sellers to grow in such a short amount of time, right? Because when you have a team behind you as an entrepreneur, you can actually scale more effectively and quickly. So in conclusion, Etsy is dead for you if you're selling on the Etsy platform like it's 2014 or like it's 2009. But we promise you that if you start selling on Etsy in 2019 like it is 2019, you'll be able to rake in profits that you can live off of or supplement your income with, or even just satisfy any extra luxury needs that you have in your life. But this is all dependent on how you do Etsy, and that's why we stress doing Etsy with a business model that reflects the times that we're in right now, right? So that's exactly why we created our course. Our course is about Etsy print on demand. This is a model that we really, really believe in. It's effective for those who may not have those crafting skills, who don't have a huge amount of money to start with. So if you can't afford to have a large amount of a product on hand, you don't need to worry. That won't affect your ability to start and grow. Etsy's like truly one of the most effective business models, and the least kind of talked about. It's all about Shopify, it's all about Amazon. You know, Etsy, there's not too much competition right now. It's a really, really golden time to get in. And most people think that the only thing that you can do on Etsy is vintage and handmade goods. Etsy is a really, really great place to start. And when you know what you're doing and you know how to create the profits, you know, it's life-changing. It's a game changer. So that about wraps up our video of Etsy is dead. It's just funny hearing that statement. That wraps up our video though. If you find any value in this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to share it with anyone who you think might also benefit from this video. God knows there's a bunch of people out there who really need a pick-me-up and really need to know that, you know, Etsy's not this dead space. There's a lot happening here. You know, so it's not to be overlooked. And make sure to also comment and let us know what you think. If you're on the Etsy platform already, Is this a model that you have ever considered for yourself? Are your sales going well? And if you haven't started Etsy, or you haven't started on any platform yet, is Etsy a model that, you would consider? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you guys as always. Take care for now, and we hope to hear from you guys soon. We'll see you in the next one.